Do things you love, surrounded by people you love. That's what it's really all about. And that's what we're discussing this week is meaningful relationships. We've been talking about relationship skills for the last several weeks. And that's in your life, there is nothing more important than forming meaningful relationships. That is what I want you thinking about this week is the meaningful relationships in your life. And it's funny, our relationships change throughout our lives. It's very easy at your stage of life in middle school and high school to think that a lot of the relationships we have right now are going to last forever. And some will. But there's an idea, a concept that I like, and I first heard it from, he's a inspirational speaker and author. His name is Jay Shetty, and he's, I think, English born of Indian descent. He studied and practiced as a monk for a while and has become a fairly well-known speaker and writer. A lot of inspirational stuff. And I first heard the idea from him, and it was the notion that people will come into your life. You'll form relationships with people for one of three reasons. Either for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And that idea is some people are going to be in our lives. We're going to have relationships with them for a fairly short amount of time. We'll have a relationship with them. It might be positive, it might be challenging, but they'll be there for some portion of our lives, and then we'll grow apart. We won't have a strong relationship with them anymore. And that's true. It's just something that happens. Right now, some of your best friends, some of the people that you spend a lot of time with, some of you may continue to be friends throughout your whole life. That happens more in a smaller community like ours, especially if you decide that you're going to set your roots down here. But often, the people who maybe your best friends or somebody you spend a lot of time with when you're young, you grow up, you change, you go in different directions, you move away, and then you don't really have a regular, consistent relationship with them anymore. And that's okay. That actually is an important thing to understand, especially at your age. When we're at an age where we feel like, well, I've got to maintain all of these friendships and things like that, and it's always good to be kind and respectful to everyone. But I think an important realization is that you don't need to be friends with everyone. Everyone doesn't need to be friends with you. That should never give you the right to treat anyone negatively, to hurt anyone's feelings or denigrate anyone, to treat people disrespectfully. That's not what I'm saying. But it's important to realize because we sometimes burn a lot of time and energy. We put a lot of effort into relationships that maybe aren't going to be there for a long time. Sometimes we give a lot of energy to a relationship where the other person in the relationship is sort of a relationship vampire. They're just sucking our energy, sucking our effort, and we're not getting anything out of the relationship. That's an important thing to realize and to know that we can step away and say, okay, well, this person was maybe in my life for a season, and we can still appreciate that, and we should. It's okay to even recognize that, wow, we had some great times with this person, but now perhaps that time has passed. Now it's time for us to move forward and to let some of that go. That can be a very powerful thing. We also have to recognize some people come into our lives for a reason, whether they're in our lives for a long time or a short period of time. We have a relationship with those people to learn something, to gain something. At best, we gain something positive. we learn something, we're inspired, we're motivated, we're elevated by a particular relationship. And those are the best ones if we can maintain them for a long time. But you've all had, and you're going to continue to have more challenging relationships as well, where things didn't go how we planned, where we got hurt maybe in a relationship. And then we have to realize that person was in our lives for a reason. Maybe it wasn't for us to have a long-term relationship. Maybe it wasn't for us to have the relationship we thought we were going to have. But they were there for a reason. And we learned something and we grew because of it. That's also important. And there will be those relationships that are there for a lifetime. Those people who are always there for us, who always have our back, who even if we wind up with some distance between us, whether it's physical distance, live in different areas, or we have some emotional distance sometime where we're just not connecting for a while, but we know, we feel it in our bones, those people are there for us. They have our backs. Those people are there for a lifetime. It's great when those people are your family. That's something we try to preach in our family all the time, is that your siblings, your family, those are the people who will always be there for you. Always have your back, even when friends come and go, when romantic relationships come and go. That's at least our hope. That's my hope as a parent. Sometimes you have families where that's not the case, and you choose your own family. You embrace those friends who you know have your back, those friends who you feel like family, that are your family, the family you've selected. And those are the people who are always there. They're in our relationship for a lifetime. I want you to think about a meaningful relationship, one that's really significant to you. Could be something very positive, or it could be one where you learned a lot. And I want you to think in terms of, was this person a season or reason or a lifetime relationship? The next thing I want you to think about is how you can help feed that relationship or any other relationship. A lot of times in life, we want to plant the seeds, but we don't want to tend the garden. We don't want to put work in to take care of something we already have. And that's especially important with our relationships. Our relationships are gardens that need constant tending. We can't just say, oh, we're friends, or this is my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife, whatever it is, and not put in the work. That's a really easy thing to do, to take that relationship, to take that person for granted because they're there. So we can focus on other things. But if you really want to be happy in life, feed your relationships, feed the important relationships to you. Constantly tend that garden. So I just want you to pick a relationship, a meaningful relationship, and then talk to me about how you can feed that relationship, tend that garden, or any other relationship. Until next time, much love.